The day I discovered the truth, my world shattered. This isn't just a story, it's the raw, unfiltered account of a family's deepest deception, a secret so profound it redefined everything I believed. This is my story, the story of a secret my family hid from me my entire life, until I turned 18. This is Silent Revelations. Subscribe now, because tonight you will hear a story that will shake you to your core. Growing up, my life seemed perfect. My father, a man I adored, was always there, smiling, joking, telling stories. My mother, gentle but firm, made sure I always had what I needed. Every morning she handed me small pills and called them vitamins. I trusted her completely, I never questioned it. We laughed at dinner tables, played games on weekends, and shared inside jokes that only our family could understand. The world outside seemed distant, unimportant. Our home was a sanctuary, or at least that's what I believed. Yet, even in those golden days, there were whispers I couldn't understand, glances between relatives, conversations that stopped when I entered the room. Mom's eyes sometimes held something heavier than care or love, a shadow I couldn't name. I pushed it aside. After all, families have secrets, don't they? But I would soon learn, some secrets are more dangerous than anything you could imagine. As I grew older, subtle things began to feel off. Why did my mom insist I never skip the vitamins? Why did relatives avoid answering my questions about certain people? Why did I never see mom and dad fight, yet feel a tension in the air that I couldn't place? I asked once why I had to take these pills. My mother's smile stiffened and she said, "Because I said so." That was the end of the conversation. For years, I believed I was healthy, strong, and loved. But the silence around me was growing louder. Something was being hidden. Something I was never meant to know. Every laugh at the dinner table, every hug, every bedtime story, it all now feels like a rehearsal, a carefully staged performance to hide the truth. Turning 18 should have been a moment of freedom, of celebration. But it was the day my life as I knew it ended. It started innocently, a misplaced envelope, a hospital file left on a table. I glanced at it, and my world tilted. The word HIV stared back at me alongside my name. My first thought was disbelief. There must be some mistake. But the more I searched, the clearer the picture became. My mother's smile, the pills she gave me, the secrecy, the warnings, everything suddenly made sense. The vitamins had not been vitamins at all. They were medicine to keep me alive. And the truth was even darker. I demanded answers. And that's when my mother told me everything. She had been infected before I was born. She had known she was sick, but she wanted me to live. So she hid her illness, hid the truth, and continued life as though nothing was wrong. And my father? He wasn't really my father. The man I had called Dad all my life, it was not my biological father. I was a child born into a lie so carefully crafted that even the people who knew the truth pretended everything was normal. I felt the walls of my childhood close in on me. Every memory was suddenly tainted. Every smile, every hug, every bedtime story was a lie. My family, the people I trusted most, had hidden the darkest truth from me for my entire life. The days after learning the truth were unbearable. Anger, betrayal, sadness, they collided inside me, leaving no space for anything else. How could the people who gave me life also lie to me so completely? I cried myself to sleep night after night. I stared at the ceiling, asking the same questions over and over. Why? How? What else had they hidden? And yet somewhere beneath the rage, a small voice reminded me, they tried to protect me. Their actions were terrible, but they came from love, twisted, broken, desperate love. Forgiveness felt impossible. Trust felt impossible. But understanding, at least, was the first step. And slowly, I began to accept the reality of my life. Not the one I imagined, but the one I was living. Truth has a strange power. It can destroy, but it can also free you. I realized that my story, painful, ugly, devastating, was mine, and owning it was the only way forward. I took the medicine I needed, not as a child believing it was harmless, but as someone taking control of their life. I faced the reality of my health, my identity, and my family. And though the betrayal never fully fades, I learned that silence is worse than any truth. Sharing this story is my way of breaking that silence. My way of saying, even the deepest, darkest secrets can be confronted. And maybe, just maybe, you can survive them. If you've listened this far, thank you. Thank you for witnessing my truth, my revelation, my pain. Remember, some secrets don't just hurt. They can destroy. But when we face them, speak them, share them, we take back power. Subscribe to Silent Revelations because every week we uncover the hidden, the forbidden, the unspoken truths of the world. And remember, the darkest secrets often hide in the brightest smiles. Don't ignore them. Watch, listen, and never forget.